I'm Bonnie Starr.
And I'm Jay Douglas.
And this is episode 2 of Street View.
On AboveTopSecret.com. Check it out.
In our first episode of Street View, we covered the UFO sightings over Chelsea, New York City. There's been a lot of talk about these sightings being debunked, so I would like to address that before we move forward to another topic.
Now, those in our ATS community who continue to comment on the New York City UFO sightings being debunked, we challenge you to provide us at Street View with some real answers. If those weren't UFOs, what do you believe they were?
How balloons could hover over an area for over 9 hours. And how is it possible that balloons could produce such a high wattage of light that it could be seen over the overly illuminated New York City sky? We encourage and invite you to continue the conversation, and let's all of us deny ignorance and get down to the truth of what really happened in New York on October 13th, 2010.
After all night sorting through the fire hose, we have decided to tackle 2 topics right off the most recent threads. First, we get a little green, finding out what people think about global warming.
And next, we will be having a little fun confronting McDonald's customers about what they just ingested while they're still digesting.
What does New York think? So,
yes.
What do you think I'm going to ask you about?
About global warming.
Do you believe that it's happening?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
And you?
Your definition. Man-made global warming? Yes, true aspect.
Well, I actually believe in it because every year my parents and I we go to Mauritius, the same place every year, and this year I've noticed that the water actually came closer than it usually is. So that's the global warming. People.
So you've experienced this firsthand?
I believe it is mostly. Yes, I believe that. I'm not a scientist, but I think there are swells in the weather.
Global warming is a threat. If we don't act now, this over here in a couple years' time, we might be flooded up in water. Here's me in the water doing this in the middle of New York. So when Al Gore says something, I just say it must be true, you know.
I think that it's possible that something's wrong.
Yeah. So you feel like you've seen global warming's effects, like it's getting warmer during the time it shouldn't be warm?
This is probably just the beginning of people noticing such things.
Yes, I do believe it's happening. I do believe that it has been taken a little bit out of proportion now. A lot of people are catching up in the trend. That's pretty much it. I do believe that governments should pay more attention to it. It is a problem that in the long term it's going to affect everyone, and it's starting to affect everyone.
As awareness has grown about climate change, lobbyists, corporations, and politicians have used global warming to brand themselves as conscious environmentalists.
This is deep down, this is true. Al Gore lost presidency, really bitter about that, lost to George Bush. Oh, so angry, there's George Bush. Doesn't like this, he feels he's more charismatic, he feels he's a lot better, he loses. What do? How do you gain the world's praise? You invent a cause and you go around the world telling people, this is how it works against you, show your maps. This is how it works this way. He does this whole little show, he pockets a few mil each show. I know myself because my dad actually interviewed him at one of the shows and South Africa had to pay him $3 million to just travel to South Africa. It's a good money-making scheme.
So he made $3 million to be interviewed about global warming?
He makes huge money. I mean, I can tell you this honestly, but as a journalist back home, he traveled to South Africa, got paid for that, asked to go in specific cars. He only goes in green cars, what he deems as green.
Right.
It's an image-based thing.
Do you believe in all the stuff that Al Gore is saying? I mean, do you think
Not really, because he profiteers off of it. He has a very big holding and a lot of green aspects. Do I believe that green is the way to go? Yes, in a proper, proportionate way where it's not, people aren't truly making money off it. You know, the government, a lot of people, when they want to make money off of things, that's what they do. They make money, they really don't care about the initial product they put out. That's like people, what is it, the spill in Europe with the aluminum factory? all that byproduct just ran into rivers and everything, and nobody is like, oh, you know, hey, cool, whatever. Oh, it's horrible. It's like the Gulf spill. Oh, it's so horrible. But you know that it's always there's always going to be a man-made byproduct. You know,
because it's now a sort of a hype. And of course, when something new comes up, people are trying to find manners to making money out of it. So now in this stage, I think it's more concentrated on the fact of making money of it, so and not on the actual problem. Like he was saying about Al Gore, Gore is really making a lot of money with it. Also, what he's saying is true. So, but even where I come from, even in
where are you from?
I'm from Belgium. I'm from Belgium.
I don't think it's being pushed enough. I mean, I think it's, I think it's absolutely a fact, and I think we are contributing to it. And I mean, I think the fact that more kids have asthma, I mean, there are just a lot of things that have to do with what we're doing to the world. No, I don't think it's a political issue. There was something that I read, and it may have been in the Times, about fear. In other words, you see a garter snake, and you go, and react. But you don't react to global warming because it's way off in the future, and it doesn't have an ooh factor.
Do you have anything that you do in your life? Like, do you have any way that you try to live or something that you try to do being conscious of global warming that you consistently try to do?
Well, actually, I'm trying to use less energy in my house, so to turn off all the electricity when I'm not at home. So, and some small things. Yeah.
Even though most people know how harmful American fast food is, these stores in Manhattan see up to 750,000 people per day. I'm obviously in the wrong business. I guess if my business was poisoning the human race, I too would be a billionaire. Let's see what these customers have to say for themselves.
Hey, so this is Bonnie Starr here, and we're outside of the McDonald's on East 85th Street. So do you guys eat at McDonald's often?
About once a week.
Once a week? Do you consider yourself health-conscious people?
Not really.
Somewhat.
The problem with me is like it's really cheap. It's like the cheapest thing out there. So because of that, it's terrible. But I know I could be eating better. But sometimes it's just $1 cheeseburger is all I can be affording, which is a bad cycle to get into. But yeah, not something I'm proud of.
Either way, I know it's not the most healthiest thing, and I know that it's a bunch of processed animal parts probably put together, and I know there's a lot of chemicals in it. But like I said, I do it as a treat once a week.
So you consider it just like a treat?
Yeah.
You don't do it on a daily basis?
Not at all.
And how about you?
Yeah, I mean, you could show it to me. I pretty much know it's all bad. I mean, like I said, it tastes like shoelaces, you know? But, I mean, it is what it is. You know, they're cheap, especially if you go into places like Brooklyn or something like that. They're cheaper out there, so.
Do you eat them because they're cheap?
Yes.
Yeah.
A health-conscious person?
Yes. But I don't understand why people are always picking on McDonald's for the stupidest things like that.
Being an athlete, I try not to eat much food, but I'm at much fast food. But it's definitely convenience.
I showed you a list of chemicals that are in a McDonald's cheeseburger. Would that at all curb your appetite for it, or do you just not care?
Well, basically I don't care, but I don't like to eat too much cheese anyways.
Are you concerned at all about the mass health problems that are out there? Do you think that McDonald's contributes to that in any way?
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
What do you think a solution to all this is?
Well, I mean, I've never actually heard those facts presented to me. I mean, there's been things like Super Size Me, and there's been all these kind of pop culture approaches to it, but I've never just been I'm never really given a list of what I'm actually eating. I don't feel like that's something they supply really, and I don't feel like that's something that I've really ever been shown.
I think if you checked any food, you'd have unusual. I know in Burger King they never question their burgers, and yet they have the same ingredients.
Would you feed this to your kids, knowing all the chemicals that are in it?
I wouldn't give them the burgers. In fact, I have cousins and stuff, and I always try to keep them away from McDonald's. And if I do bring them here, I give them the chicken nuggets.
Okay.
That's usually what I go with.
How about you?
It depends on the age. Will I give a little kid McDonald's? No.
kids?
Fuck no.
Fuck no. Yeah.
Never. No, I'm not even gonna show my kids McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, I know like my dad doesn't eat McDonald's, and he like would never like take me to get McDonald's. And
same thing.
And there's like little Alexes running around. Like, I'm not gonna feed them fast food.
With over 99 billion served, we wonder why people have yet to stand up and stop this blatant poisoning of our food supply and express more genuine concern for the health of the human race.
We encourage the ATS community and everyone out there to take a stand today against corporations like McDonald's. Send a message that we will no longer be poisoned by their bionic food. If Americans stopped buying McDonald's and bought one organic item today, corporate America would certainly take notice, and we could finally take back control of our food.
We may feel helpless against big corporations like McDonald's, but the truth is that we as consumers hold all the power. If we simply boycott it and stop buying this poisonous food, and if we stop giving it to our children and condoning future generations to buy this poison, we could eliminate companies like McDonald's altogether, and we could stop them from having so much power over our food supply.
We're at the end of the second installment of Street View. Thank you for everyone who posted a comment on episode 1. And thank you for watching.
We leave you with a new section we like to call Citizen of the Week. This week we feature Mr. Jimmy McMillan, who spoke out last night at the governor's debate. I'm Bonnie Starr, and thank you for watching Street View.
The rent is too damn high party. People are working 8 hours a day and 40 hours a week to some a third job. Women can't afford to take care of their children, feed their children breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My main job is to provide a roof over your head, food on the table, and money in your pocket. This is politics as usual, playing a silly game. It's not going to happen. The rent too damn high movement, the people I'm here to represent can't afford to pay their rent. They're being laid off right now as I speak. They can't eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Listen, someone's stomach, child's stomach just growled. Did you hear it? You gotta listen like me. Okay.